normally do.
Sorry, I just remembered to record.
Okay, I've got to take that off. Okay, so we're talking here, and I'm talking to
Trina.
I'm talking Tina.
Trina.
Hi, Tina. And we're talking about how to read an aura and how you can use pot plants, which you would have around your house, and you can use you can use other bits and pieces of your body. Your hand is also a very, very good thing to read, because you can hold your hand away. You can focus on the tip of your middle finger, and you should, with a bit of practice, start seeing white around it. Now, what you're doing is you're looking at the white overkill of the hand, and as soon as you start picking up the white, that's the colors that will start to split. So they'll start splitting into the 7 colors of the rainbow as you get more and more used to it. You got it? Yeah. Wow. So you'll start to see it, and it's amazing thing. I mean, you're dressed the right way, Tina. You've got a black blouse on, so you can put your hand against your blouse, and you can probably see the outline of your energy field without having to do too much and worry too much about it. It's I always start people off with blackboards or with black card, just so they can focus their eyes. And once they start doing that, once you start seeing it, then you can't stop. You'll want to keep doing it time and time again, and you'll be doing your parents and your children and your cat. You know, you'll be around next doors after their hamster. You'll be doing it everywhere, and it's a really nice thing to do, because then you start noting down the colours, and then you can start to interpret the colors and work out what the colors mean. And so you can then start working out people's personalities. You can start working out whether people are angry, sad, frustrated. You can start working out whether someone's a good talker, good communicator. And it just gives you a real big edge. And you think about it in all your life. You know, if you can see your children's auras, you'll know exactly what they're going to be able to be doing and what they're able to be capable of doing. If you look at your husband's aura or your boyfriend's aura, you'll know what he's saying to you is right or wrong. It's all this stuff that you'll do instinctively without having to think or worry. You'll just be going, look, you're telling me something not quite true here, because you're talking to me in reds. And I don't want you talking to me in reds. I want the nice blues coming from your mouth. And people will just won't know what to do with that. It really does work once you get your mind focused on what you're doing. Now, I've been doing this now. This is my probably 30th year reading auras. I've been writing reports and doing profiles for people for a long time. So don't start and think it's going to happen today. It happens over a gradual build-up. But it's like anything, if you stay disciplined, you can then start to learn and start to pick up the colors. And then you just email me and say, Dom, what does this color mean? Or what does this shade of purple mean? Or where do I go with this? And what do I do with that? And then you'll start to understand, and you'll start to be able to match what you're seeing through the colors.
In your book, does it have like a guide of what all the different colors mean?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it took me about a year and a half to write, Tina, and it's got every color that I could think of with the meaning cross-matched in there. So it's a really good reference point for somebody. And I wrote it with people in mind, so they could actually just pick the book up, take it with them, and use it as a reference wherever they went. And this book's been out now 6 years. So it's been quite a good seller, but it's all about being able to understand the first layer that everyone has, this energy field. Once that's in your belief structure, then you can't go wrong, because it gives you a lot more information, and it will tell you exactly how to start to develop your own senses and look at trusting how you see something, because it's all about trust, and then seeing the meaning behind the trust. Because sometimes we'll see a color and we'll think, no, that person hasn't got that color around them, they're not like that at all. And we have to learn to trust it.
Right.
Yeah. Because your aura is going to tell you much more than what you're going to tell me. If I look at your aura, it's going to tell me everything you're not telling me, isn't it?
Watch out.
Yeah, it's a good way of actually being able to work out whether you can really see where people are, because as soon as you start looking at auras, you won't really want to talk to them that much. You'll just want to look at them and wait for them to talk to you. It's a big difference. Okay, so
I have a question, Dominic.
hi.
Is it okay to
Hello.
ask? Yeah.
Yeah, please do. Tell me who you are
Dominic.
first, though.
Hi. So my name is Jody, and
Hi,
so maybe
Jody.
you'll cover this, and I'm sure you will as we have further conversation. But just two things that are coming to mind for me at the moment, and one is, why does it seem like there are times where I could see in a group or more than one or two people together, and you can see the presence of one person's aura, but you can't really see the same for the others. So that's one question. And then the other is when you mention this concept of white light splitting off and then starting to see the colors
Yes.
within the white light, is that a matter of focusing? Like, because I can't get there. Probably because I'm not practiced enough, but is it a matter of focusing, or I'm not sure how to tune into that.
Okay, fantastic. Great questions. Thank you, Jody. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, hi. The thing about anything is there's always a can do. Yeah, I mean, there's the fact is it's there, and the fact that the aura exists is undisputable. It's there. So the fact that you will see it if you can be shown the right way. There's never no bad pupils, it's just bad teachers. And I can teach you how to see auras. Then I can show you how to interpret those auras and how to bring your confidence level to a point where you're starting to really enjoy seeing them. And it becomes natural. The best way that I can say it, if you've ever tried those 3D pictures, have you ever tried looking at those pictures that stand out and you can't get the 3D? And then you stop trying and all of a sudden they're there, aren't they? They're in this massive, great big 3D picture. That is the best way. Is when you try too hard, you'll never get there because you'll always be thinking, I want to get there, and I can't see nothing. That's why using the blackboard and a plant, or the blackboard and a cut vase of flowers, or an animal like a very tame cat that you can put a blackboard behind, it's a great way of beginning to see and trust, because the first thing that you have to have in your mind is the trust that that aura is there. Because you're obviously very much a person who would want to know everything as a factual way. It has to be there first. The fact you can't see it, you can't believe in it, so you won't actually want to see it, because as soon as you see it, it's going to change your belief structure, because it's going to give you something else to think about. So we've got to be able to show you the right methods, the right ways of doing that. So that's how we will do that with you, and quite happily do that and show you that. Get a plant, get a blackboard, and have a look, see the lime green outline. It gives you that knowledge straight away. If you've got a really friendly son, daughter, husband, get them to stand in front of something dark, just for a few minutes, and you can start to see the outlines. It's a really quite a simple process of doing that, Jody. Your second question, which I really want to answer for you as well, is why do some people's auras stand out stronger? That's really where you want to ask me, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's what I would say to you is that where people are, I always work from photographs, and I always ask people to send me full-length color photographs of themselves. I don't want other people in the picture, because everyone has this energy that can combine and can mix and can come in, and you can miss some of the things, or you can be distracted by somebody else's aura if people are too close. So people do have strengths of auras, and you will pick up people's presence. Now, when people walk into a room, you pick up the sense of who they are. We all do. We just don't always use it, but one person can walk into a room and the whole atmosphere just changes. It just totally wipes the room out, doesn't it? And this is the same with auras. You can get somebody with a really quite a strong aura come in and stand in front of a group of people, and all you'll see is their aura. So it's all about the energies, the vibration, the frequency of that aura. And we don't really do a lot with sound, do we? You know, we hear, but we don't think too much more about it. But every color has a frequency, so every color has a sound. And if you can see sounds and colors together, then you can start formulating where the brightest people are. Does that answer your question?
That's interesting. I hadn't realized that. So, okay, it's the strong presence of the energy of that person that's kind of dominating, I guess.
Yeah, you'll see it with politicians. They learn how to be much more dominating in the presence. So they will learn how to take control of a room by looking at certain people and using their body language in such a way. But you normally find that the leaders are the strongest characters, the strongest energy, and they tend to rise to the top, and they tend to be the ones that you notice first. I'm a bit more interested in the ones behind the leaders, because I'm looking at the things where people don't want to be seen or don't want to be noticed. The ones that want to be noticed, I can tell you what they are pretty quickly. The ones that don't want to be noticed are normally the surprise people, and they're the ones behind.
So I have to ask a question. Have you strategically dressed and then put that background? Because I can certainly see a pretty significant aura around you. Or is that just, I don't know, is that just a coincidence? Or?
No. But you could, I'm not an alien. That's the first thing, Jody.
No.
I have an aura. And no, what I try and do is be as neutral as I possibly can be. I happen to like blue. I wear blue a lot anyway. I think it suits my complexion and my hair and my eyes, right?
So yes, it does suit you well. But it was just interesting. I can certainly see a lot around you. And I was just wondering, is it just the camera? Is it something that you're sort of setting up so that we can help walk us into that confidence of seeing things? I don't know.
No. It's top of your mind, isn't it? You've got it right in the middle of your mind and you're thinking about it. And you might be interested to know I put the screen behind me on blur deliberately because I wanted.
That's blur?
It's blur, yeah. Because I've got, what I do is I have a green screen behind me that I project on different images when I'm talking to different people, and I didn't want to have any images behind. I just wanted you to look at me today and notice who I am, because if you've got images behind you, you're being distracted. So it's on blur, and the fact that you're seeing an aura is because it's in your consciousness. You're thinking about it, you're considering it, you're thinking that's Dominic, that's the guy who does auras, and you're thinking, well, let's have a look, let's see his aura, let's see if we can picture where he is, because I'm the one person in your focus at this moment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jody, and nice to meet you.
Same here.
Okay. So, anyone else got any more questions that they want to ask? Okay. A grand silence comes from the background. Okay.
Well, I have a question, but I don't want to. I have a lot of questions. But
Tina, should you and I chat somewhere else?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. No, come on, Tina. You ask away. Yeah, that's
Diana.
Well,
Diana,
okay.
Sorry, Diana. Any questions you have, everyone else will have. Just that you're, coming forward and asking them, and they'll just get as much out of it as what we will.
So my question is this. So I don't see auras yet, but I feel people's energy really quickly. So like I used to work at the courthouse, and when people would come to the counter to talk to me, I felt like I knew right away, like this person's going to be a problem.
Yes.
Or this person's going to be cool. And I was always right. And I was at a hair salon the other day, and a man walked in, and I didn't even see him. I just saw him through the side of my eye, and I felt the hairs behind my neck just stand up. Yep. And I turned to look at him, and he was causing problems at the salon. Something was off with him. He was very aggressive. He ended up leaving. Nothing happened. But I was like, how did I know? Just by him walking in, I was like, ooh, something's wrong over here.
Right. Okay. Great question. We're all frequencies, aren't we? We're all people that have different vibrations, and we have different energy vibrate around our bodies. When we're emotional and when we're angry, our vibrations go right up, our frequencies go right up, and the aura stretches out further. And I think what you're picking up is the energy of that man's pent-up emotions. Pent-up emotions to me are very heavy. They are the pinnacle. When I look at people who've got lots of energy, lots of things going on, lots of worries, lots of thoughts happening, they get very dark and their auras become very, very dark inside. And so what you're doing is you're picking up the frequency through your natural ability to sense. So when they've come through your space. You know, we all have a space that we don't like people coming too close to. Some of us can be, you know, closer than others, but I can imagine with you, you wouldn't have people too close to you, because as soon as they get close, it feels, and if it feels uncomfortable, or if it feels comfortable, it's still an intrusion, isn't it? It still comes close to your personal space. And what you're doing is you're sensing that energy field around that person. So it's a great sense. Yeah.
And it felt very dark, like very loud and like dark and heavy.
Yes, heavy. That's the word I use for it when I see it. I think of it as heavy energy, because people have this, when somebody's very frustrated or very angry or very sort of pent up, you get a lot of purples in the aura. The reds and the blues mix. And they normally end up being very argumentative, very picky, very a little bit, you know, false behind finding arguments or finding reasons for an argument. And so you see that purple, dark purple energy coming in, and then you see the outline of reds coming in, and then the orange around the outside, the outer aura is very watery, because you normally find that those people don't sleep and don't rest because their minds are always active. So you get a very weak outer shell, then you get a very dominant middle and inner auras. So that's how I see them. When you feel them, you're probably feeling somebody that is a little bit more difficult to deal with than what you would normally want to deal with. And it's your warning sign, it's your body's instinct saying, I need to move away from this. And of course, if you're in the courthouse, you can't, can you? Because you're having to deal with general public, no doubt, coming
surrounded. Surrounded everywhere.
You're going to get so many, because you're going to get the police, you're going to get the lawyers, you're going to get the criminals, the relatives, you're going to get everyone coming in, aren't you? Yeah. And it's such an intense place to work. I don't work there anymore. I'm pleased to hear it. I'm really pleased. It's a really hard place to work, and I do understand that. The bit that I think is when you're sensitive, you do get more empathetic towards people, and you do attract people to you who have this dark energy, because for some reason they seem to be attracted to people with very light energies. So you'll probably find that all your life. You'll be meeting difficult people, regardless where you are. There'll be people coming in and wanting to have a chat or coming close to you because they sense your energy being quite a refreshing energy, and that they're after it. They want that yellow, which I call really light energy, which is the yellow energies. That's normally the ones of the people that are working with spirit or doing things around the energy vibes, that they're very happy and very satisfied and very structured in their lives. They normally have very nice light pastel energies.
Interesting. That makes perfect sense to me. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for noticing, because that's it's great, because you're starting off on a journey, and as soon as you understand that frequency, then you can understand where the colors would be, and then when you start seeing the white outlines, you'll start seeing where the white outlines match, and then they start to split, and then you'll start seeing the colors. And that's when you'll really start thinking, right, okay, this person, I don't need to be too close. I just need to be backing off. So that's good.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you, Dominic.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. As you can see, the aura is a very varied energy field around everyone. I must do something like 25 reports every week, and I never see one aura the same. Everyone's aura is different. Everyone has a different signature. Everyone has different things with their bodies. They have older injuries. They have things that they struggle with. They even have things like depression will show up. So if somebody's going through quite a tough time, the energy will come out through that as well. I get to read a lot of spiritual people, as you may well understand, because they're the people that come and are attracted to the work that I'm doing. But when I first started off, I used to work as a prison governor, which is working with people in high security prison, and I'd be writing the profiles for those prisoners. So I'd be interviewing them, taking a picture of them and writing a report. So my background in prison governorship, you know, being somebody in a prison that had to really work out the profiles of each individual prisoner, was where I honed these skills. And I got to do a lot of people that perhaps I would never have got to do if I hadn't worked in that environment. So as Diane said, you can see the different environments affect the way that you learn the things that you're doing, especially around auras. And I learned fairly quickly that there were certain things that we can all do to help us. And I think the main thing with an aura, and something that everyone would realize, is that if you use water and you bathe, then it really does cleanse the aura. It takes all the energy off the outside. So for someone like Diana, who would work in a courtroom or courthouse, if she was to bathe every night, it would take off all the energies that's left over by the frustrated people, and it would cleanse that. If you pop a little bit of orange oil in your water when you bathe, always do that, because that actually mends the outer aura, which then allows the energy to be retained. So when you're feeling a little bit sleepy or a little bit dopey or a little bit, you know, under the weather, it's often because the outer aura has been deflated. There's a few little holes in it, and that energy spreads outwards. It feels like I'm putting a pin in a balloon and watching the balloon go down. If you actually use orange oil in your bath water, it will block those holes and it will retain your energy. So those of you that shower regularly, that's okay, and it's quick and it's okay and it's quite nice to do, but it doesn't actually wash all the energy off you from other people. So if you're doing the tube, if you're, you know, going on the underground, or you're on the bus, public transport, working in quite difficult places with difficult people, if you have difficult neighbors, make sure that at least once a week you have a bath, and you have it in nice warm water with a few drops of orange oil in, because that will help you protect your energy, keep your energy to yourself, and also it will stop you feeling jaded, and it will give you that, you'll see the difference, you'll feel the difference. I say, when I write my profiles, I see the people that aren't bathing, that are just showering, because their legs are normally full of energies, their shoulders, they get their backs, you know, they're normally fairly clean, but then there's other areas around their arms and stuff that aren't. So you need to submerge yourself, and people that really are into the energy frequencies will notice it themselves if they do it regularly and put themselves in that position, just to build it into your routines. So you have a routine of doing that. That really does help. So anybody else got any other questions they want to ask at this stage, just while I have a quick drink?
So Dominic, I have a question about other practices that we might use to clear our energy field. Like if you're an energy practitioner, you might have some types of tools that you use, chakra alignment exercises, you know, just staging, whatever it is. I mean, there's a whole lot of tools, right, that people can use to keep their energy field. So I guess I'm trying to understand how keeping your energy field clear, if you will, in your aura are related, or are they the same?
Yeah, frequencies are very, very important to us. You know, everything goes through our frequencies. Now, you know, Tibetan monks use bells. They'll use a little bell that chimes at a certain frequency. I think they're very useful, especially when you're doing things like prayer or meditation. Just to change the frequency around you is very, very good. It doesn't often change the colors directly, but what it does tend to do is allow people to feel much more comfortable within the colors they already have. When I first started doing this, when I was about 6, my grandfather was a piano tuner. He did that for a living. And I used to go and play with his piano tuning forks. And I used to watch, I used to vibrate them and watch the colors sprint from them. And that used to be something that I used to, you know, just touch and watch the vibration of color. The thing that, if you're going to be trying to line your chakras, I don't think that really works for me, because I don't see the energy centers of the body. A lot of people talk about those. I'm not sure that they really exist. I think they're just points of focus for people. And the fact that they're a point of focus for people that want to believe that because they've been told or they feel comfortable with that information, that's fine by me. But I think the whole body vibrates. I don't think there's any points of focus. When I look at a body, when I look at somebody, what I'm looking at is the outer aura first. I don't look at the person. I just look at the aura. So if I was to get you in the same room as me, and I was to use a piano fork, it would reflect the colors that might match your colors. So I could probably find what frequency you were on just by banging the forks to see if I can match the colors around your outer body. But it wouldn't actually show me that there was a heart chakra or a crown chakra or a base chakra. I think that those points of reference tend to go all into the energy field that goes around a person, and they blend. Colors tend to blend, but they tend to blend in 3 layers. And that's why when I write my profiles, I write the 3-layer profiles. And I always say to people, use water. Water is a brilliant way of refreshing your aura. And I'll tell you how I came across it. I was in Sri Lanka about 3 months after the tsunami. And all my life, I've felt energy everywhere. I've walked everywhere. I've felt people's energy, just like the lady in the courtroom. I couldn't be in one place next to someone too long. And when I went to Sri Lanka, it was the first time I could stand somewhere that had been totally wiped clean. And the beach that I stood on had been hit by the wave that came over the tsunami, and it had cleaned all the old energy straight off it. And it stood out to me. I thought, well, why is this different? Why is this place different to anywhere else I've ever been in my life? And I've been all over the world. And it was because that wave had been over recently, and all the energy, all the imprints, all the people's imprinted energy had gone. So it was just totally clean. So that's why I don't believe in the chakras, the center points so much, but I believe in the whole of the field. And that's why I believe that water is our best friend. It's really best friend. If you were going to go into a meditation, I would always say to you, have some music or have some vibrations that really fit in with your aura. And we can pick up on that. The voice is a fantastic way of being able to build a lovely vibration around you. And that's why I think visualization meditations are really good. And I also believe that your energy, if it's in tune with your voice, it will resonate and it will allow you to feel that inner self, because the inner self and the past self, the future self are all one. And if you can become one with all yourselves, and I think of us as being multidimensional light individuals, I think that way we can tune into who we are. That's when we can access our things like our Akashic records and the understanding, the claircognizance of the universe, and all the other things that we would like to access. So the true knowledge, the true knowing is there, but we have to be able to be still enough to hear it. And that's from the frequencies that we're thinking and feeling and coping with every day. And when I say every day, things like electricity does not affect our auras. The vibration of electricity does. And it could well be that electricity is the key to the universe, the way it transmits sound and energy, because we're all electronic, we're all energy. And that is something that is going to resonate through everybody. So the energy resignation is going to be the frequency that we need to find in order to meditate clearly with our own energies. Now, that wouldn't include the chakras, not for me anyway, because why would you divide your body up into these centers that may have different colors? I've never seen that. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's given me a lot to think about too.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing when you start to build into that knowledge of thinking that you could access everything you've ever known. That's the interesting part for me, because that's the authentic. And if we can think of time as a circle, not as a linear line, but as a circle line that we can navigate anywhere we want, then that becomes even more interesting, because we start then to see that all our past selves or our now selves, our future selves are all in the same space, and we can access all that information. And I believe that's when we start to introduce new knowledge and new understandings, because it's a new knowledge that we're looking for, because we don't want to be stuck on the same old knowledge all the time. That knowledge has to evolve, has to, as we become more spiritual and more understanding of things like energies and auras, that's when we start to understand that the vibrations work with us and that we can then pick up that knowledge. And that's why we have the limits around us that we have at this moment, because we can never see where the limits are without them being stuck behind us. Okay, I can see Jody now. Hello, Jody. Who's in the car? Who's driving the car on the phone?
Oh, this is Stephanie.
Oh, hello, Stephanie. I thought I could recognize you. Gosh, how are you? You know, it's been a while. Been about 3 weeks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. You know, I didn't recognize you at first.
I look different?
No, you were quiet. You've never been quiet any time I've ever known you.
I know. I'm a chatty one.
How are you? How's things? How's your aura? How's everything around you? Oh,
I think I'm good. I just got back from a vacation, so I'm feeling relaxed. Hopefully,
okay.
Last time we talked, I had a lot of black around me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, you'd have been quite tired then, I should imagine, and quite worn out. So I can't believe you're driving and talking to me. That's incredible.
Blair's driving. I'm just in the passenger seat.
Oh, okay. So you're navigating. That's fine.
I'm sorry I'm late. I just, Ashley was like, just hop on when you get out. I had an appointment. So I had jiu-jitsu class. So she said, just hop on after. So
yeah, no, cool. Well, it's always nice to see you, Stephanie. It's great that you're there. And yeah, I mean, we'll have a chat at some time, okay? Because it's always nice to catch up.
For sure. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. All right. You take care. Okay. Bye, Stephanie. As I was saying about the auras, the different layers really matter. And in my introduction, I just talked a little bit about the 3 layers of the aura. And what I think is important to understand is those layers are the same for everyone. They're just in different colors. So the orange can be a lot weaker on some people and a lot darker on other people. The blues for communication can be different blues. We can see golds, we can see reds in the middle aura a lot, where people are a little bit sort of frustrated or a little bit difficult. And then the bit that people are very interested in is their health and their way of longevity within their health, because we all tend to use what we have around us all the time, but we don't tend to see that we're doing it. And little things like the air that we breathe, we don't know how toxic it is. You know, if we live in a city, the air is totally different to the air that we would breathe on by the coast, and so on. So everybody has a unique aura, and everyone has a unique, depending on how they live, what they eat and drink, how they exercise, and you get a real big picture of the person by how their aura is, because of the status of the colors. So anyone brave enough to have their aura read right now? Yeah, I can, on my screen, I can only see little pictures. Now I've got, this is Isabel.
Yes, hello, Dominic.
Hello, Isabel, I got you. I recognized you, see, I'm getting better. It's not, it's not too bad, is it? It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you've got quite a tight aura around you right now. So you must be really quite, tired, quite exhausted about doing lots of things right at this moment, because you're very self-protective. You've also got a little bit of red around this ear, which is quite unusual to see. Have you got a sore ear or an infected ear?
No, but Spirit is channeling. I feel them in my ears right now.
Do you? They're buzzing, are they?
Yeah, they're buzzing. Spirit is buzzing right now.
Yeah, it's your left ear that is the buzziest. because
Yeah.
you actually see that quite a lot. There's a little bit of green underneath this jawline as well, which means that your teeth or your bite isn't quite lined up, which it would normally want to be. So you might find that that side of your mouth is a little bit tender as well from time to time. And shoulder, not too bad. I mean, it's very close. I mean, your energy is very close to you. You're very self-protective of your energy. So the people that you have around you could be very intense at times, and you're protecting your energy from those people, and you're wanting to give out an image that is slightly different to how you're feeling. So that's quite fun. It's quite good. Yeah. I'm not going to push it, all right, because I know that we're.
I don't care.
No, I'll push then. Okay, you're very protective. You're holding your energy in, and you're watching out for people coming and stealing your energy, basically. And there's people around you that are really annoying you right now, this moment, and it's not me. So it's about that protectiveness of you, and you're holding on, and you're only just managing it. So you're worn out by it.
I am very tired. I did get very tired, just like a wave of tiredness came over me. So that is very true. And yesterday I went to a party, a 40th birthday party with lots of humans. There were over 100 people there.
Right, okay.
And I typically am with my teachers and light workers. So they vibrate higher. So I was definitely in a
you're a protective mode.
I was in protective mode to be around so many I mean, they're all beautiful people, but they're in the 3D consciousness, I would say.
Okay, yeah, let's be nice about people, because I think it's everyone's got their own personal places to be.
Absolutely, and they're all beautiful. They're all beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Have you ever wanted to work for the diplomatic service?
You know, I have been called the ambassador many of times in my life.
It's just a coincidence. I absolutely promise you that. It's that way of actually being able to be someone that you project, and then if we were having a private conversation out the way of everyone, you'd be totally different. And I think it's the way that you are as a person. I think you've learned how to switch on and off in certain circumstances with certain people, and then you go, oh, thank God for that. Oh. And down you go, and you stop. You literally would just stop. And that's probably how you run your life forever, because that's what people do. They're very good at bringing people together and being high and nice and friendly and warm, and gratified that they're in their company. And then when they finish, it's like, oh no, thank goodness for that. Whew, I'm going over here, I'm going to have a lay down. And it's that sort of burnout thing, isn't it, that we get when we're actually always in demand with other people around us. It's the energy burnout. I love it. Your face is just frozen, Isabel, and I think it's great the way it's done that. But it's the way that we are as people. And see, our aura doesn't lie. Our aura always tells us exactly what's going on around and why it's going on around. So that's where that is. Isabel, I've lost your picture now, so you stop moving, right? I just got a screen with your face smiling at me. So is there anybody else that would like to ask me?
Yes, there's a hand up over here.
Over where?
Over
where are we going?
OJBM3J. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name keeps coming up like that. My name is Tula, and
Hello,
I'm very
Tula.
happy to be here. I have to figure that out. My
Ah.
first time, I don't even know how I ended up here. I just got this notice a few days ago, and I went, okay,
Great, well,
so
brilliant.
here I am.
Well,
I'm
I like
very
spontaneity. I think spontaneity is great, and having the faith and the trust in the process is also a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Mhm.
So, and with no mistakes, there's no coincidences, is there? We
No.
turn up at things for lots of reasons and meet lots of people for lots of reasons, but it's always nice when we have an interest, and that interest can be structured in something like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have a question, Tula?
Just I'm going through a lot of emotional turmoil right now, and just trying to figure out where I am and how I'm standing with things. And if you can just
Yeah, well,
That's what you see or sense.
I think you're a very emotionally based person. I think you think in emotions, you are emotions, everything will be emotional for you. So you've been that way since you were young. And I think that you've picked up a lot of those traits from the people that you've grown up around, because your energy is very well established. You're not somebody who's going to stand back and just allow. You're always going to challenge. There's something about you. You're somebody that's going to speak your mind and say what you think, but you're very sensitive and very thoughtful about being sensitive. And sometimes people, if they want to push you away, they're going to rely on you being sensitive to push you away. That's what's happening around you right now. The thing that is the most difficult for you is actually not having communication. If people talk to you, you can resolve anything. If people don't talk to you, you're going to find it a nightmare, because you'll be thinking of all the connotations. Your blues, your dark blues, are just above in your middle aura around your left-hand side there. They're the lines of communication. They tell me that you like to express and share and teach and be. So if you're feeling it, you'll say it. And there's no in-betweens with you. It has to be said. So if people stop you saying things, it's going to create a lot of the reds that come right around here, around the bottom base of your throat. And those reds are the frustrations of not being able to say or do something about something that's going on right this moment. Now, part of that can be surrender. It can be, okay, I can't change the situation. I can't make that person or people talk to me or be reasonable. So I need to surrender to it. And as soon as you surrender, your colors come back. You're a very vivid dreamer. The yellows are there. Your imagination is really quite a big imagination person. You'll visualize a lot of things around you, and you'll think in visual. You'll really see everything visually. And those things are going to be your best outlet, because you need to be thinking, if you can consider it, about you, not about what others can do, because others will stop you, because you can do anything you choose. And you know that you'll be very successful in the things that you choose to do, because you're determined to make it work. But your energy of being successful can be stopped by people not communicating. So it's all about the communication with you, Tula.
You know what? I can't tell you how exactly right on that is. It's with my daughter, who's just had a baby, and there's stuff there. Yeah. No, it's
Well,
I'm just trying to stand back and go, okay, it's okay, you know.
Yeah.
Surrender. Thank you.
Well, it's brilliant. It's brilliant because you recognize it. And when you recognize it, the emotions of having a child come in to the family and not being able to communicate with the mother is one of the most difficult things that you will ever go through in the whole of your adult life, because it's the emotion. I want to come and give you a hug and come and be with you right now. The difficulty we have is allowing them to go through that process, because they go through it because they're scared. They're in fear. Your daughter will be in a fearful state at this moment. She won't know what, so she'll push you away. As soon as you let go of that, she won't be fearful no more.
Yeah, she just
because the
gave
conflict
birth on the first while she had COVID. She still has COVID.
She still has it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a tough, tough situation that we're learning to handle in a new way, aren't we? We're all trying to sort of adapt and learn about what we can and cannot do. But it's that thing that it'll make it sweeter later, because the ones that care the most will still be there, and they'll be there, and they'll appreciate so much more about the individual person and what they mean, because it's been taken away for a time. And there's nothing worse than having things
projecting, but it hurts.
Yeah, it is. And I think that what we have to allow sometimes is the things that we can do rather than things that we can't do. So if we concentrate on those things, then it helps us emotionally, because we're actually occupied. And with you, if you're occupied, you're happy. If you're not occupied, you'll find it really tough, because your mind will go through all the waves of thought.
Well, I know why I got on this call. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's amazing what you can do in a few minutes. And,
Amazing.
yeah,
I
and
needed
it's,
this today. Thank you.
well, yeah, anytime you just come and talk to me. I'm always around. Always make time. But it's nice when people understand us, but it's also nice when we understand ourselves. Yeah, so that's your part of this, is now you understanding you and knowing deeply who you are. So nice to meet you, Tula,
Thank you.
and congratulations on the baby.
Yes.
That's really lovely. Really love that.
She's a little
Okay.
water tiger. She was born on Chinese New
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah. No, I was born 62, so it makes me a tiger too.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. So it's every year that ends in the 2 is a tiger, isn't it?
Oh,
So.
okay.
So, wow, we've got a great, I don't know too much about Chinese astrology, but I do believe in it more than I believe in Western astrology, because it's much more complex. There's so much more to understand about it, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I tend to look at that. I tend to believe it in a more direct way than I do, I don't believe in people being 1/12 of the population. No way. We're all individuals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Right.
Dom,
Okay. Well, nice
Dom, I
to.
have somebody ask, Dawn wants to ask a question in the chat.
Okay.
I didn't
Okay.
mean to interrupt you.
Hi, Dominic. I'm Dawn.
Hello, Dawn. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for doing this today.
Oh, you're welcome. It's great.
Yeah, I just had a question. I know earlier someone was saying that they had some buzzing in their ears because they were feeling that spirit was coming through them.
Oh, yes. Yes,
And
Isabel.
and sometimes I do hear buzzing in my ears. It's more just like a ringing. I always thought it was like a little bit of tinnitus or something.
Yeah,
But
very likely.
is that a common thing for spirit to like? I mean, I didn't know if she meant a literal buzzing or if she meant like they're chatting in her ear trying to get her
Yeah, I know exactly what you're asking me, and it's
Okay.
it's quite simple, and I think we all get it. I think it's a frequency that sometimes we all hear, but we don't quite tune the radio in our ear to that frequency, so it sounds like white noise or white sound. So we get this buzzing. I've got it now. I get it a lot. So
Right.
I understand exactly what you're going through. I think that if we meditate and calm our thoughts down, because it's the beginning of things being hectic. Whenever I see people with that sort of thing or hear of it, I know that their thoughts are really active. They're really, really going really fast. And I can see from your aura that you're a really fast thinker. You think and you say, you don't really stop. Everything comes out. As you think it, you say it. And because of that, your ears will always have these messages coming through. They're always there. It's been able to retune your frequency through calmness. So what I would say is you would lead quite a hectic life from time to time. Okay. Your life would be, I get up in the morning, I've got this and this to do, I got that to do. And the last time that you really get any time for yourself is the last 10 minutes of the day. So those last 10 minutes are very precious to you before you go to sleep. And that's where the calmness comes down, and you control your breathing. If you actually breathe in, on the count of 6 and breathe out on the count of 5, what you'll start to do is those little tinnitus sort of noises that come through your ears will start to actually make a lot more sense. And you might not hear voices, but your thoughts will start interacting with you. So when you start thinking, and it's like a cascade, isn't it? You go from one thought to the next. So you might start off thinking chocolate brownies, then you go all the way up to a gatto. Do you know that sort of, bit of thought that we have? Well, that's where you are with your spirituality. You might start thinking about maybe meditation or past life, and then you might start going through what actually is the textures, the tones, the clothes that you might have worn, the different foods you ate, or the different, places you've been. You might see deja vu as a very common thing where you are. So you might recognize people, places, that sort of stuff. It's just calming you down so you pick up on that. Now, as a medium, people, I reckon we walk into energies. I don't think there's such a thing as we talk to people in spirit, but what I do believe is we actually can hear imprints of people. And it may be that you walk through imprints and you sense them all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I get visions sometimes and I see little
Yeah.
puffs of smoke like constantly in front of my face. And
Yeah. Yeah,
So I get
it's
little senses of and visuals of things sometimes.
yeah, that's really good because you're in a world that is a human mortal body and you're looking at a human world, but the energies that we don't see are the ones we want to notice. So the things like the aura, we start to notice that. We start to notice the vibration of sound on different frequencies, which is your ringing in the ear. And the little visions in front of you are maybe the little clips of energy that is actually stored in the energy around you. So if you've ever heard of stonewall tape, everything stores energy. So
What's it called?
it's called stone wall tape. So the walls around you trap all the energy around you. And so the people that have lived in your home or that have walked on your floors, their energy signatures are all around you. And at certain points, you release that energy if you walk through it, or if the weather changes, or if certain frequencies are introduced, like lightning, that can actually change the frequency in a home and can release energies. So depending on where you live, it can actually dictate what you're seeing and what you're feeling and what you're sensitive to. So everything is there. Have you ever tried psychometry, holding an object and seeing what you feel from that object?
We did that at my hypnotherapy college as an exercise to kind of help read energy and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, it's a great exercise, but you need to try it with your feet because your feet are the most sensitive part of your body. Yeah, and if you take your shoes and socks off and you walk into a place with just your bare feet, you'll feel so much more. So your hands are great, but your shoes and socks off and your bare feet connect to the energy and you'll start seeing things a lot clearer.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, okay. So I hope everyone sort of understands the energy frequencies and the different frequencies that we can feel, because we take for granted around us is all the energy that we have. We don't often go into it and start to really notice it unless, like, this lady, feel it around us. As soon as we start feeling it, we want to know what it actually is. And that's when we start to ask the questions, we start to look at the psychometry of it, and we start to feel the different vibrations of sound, vision, and hearing, because our five senses are really what release the sixth sense. And as long as we can release that sixth sense, then our five senses are going to be very important to us. And believe it or not, one of the most alive senses we have is taste. And we very rarely use that when we're working as psychics or sensitives or mediums, because we don't really relate it. But if you have a taste of a food in your mouth or a smell of a taste, then you can actually use that as part of the actual confirmation that someone's actually close to you. So I'm always very aware of the five senses opening up the sixth sense. Okay, so anyone have any other questions? Ashley, have we got anybody else that you can see that's got their hand up, or anyone that wants to ask anything?
I don't see anybody. There's Mish.
Me. Hi, Dominic.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hi,
That must be Mish.
Yes, I had a reading with you, and you had mentioned that I see the good in everyone, which I do.
Okay.
But you said that I would have difficulty with adult relationships, and I do, but I don't know how to do anything about it. I just wanted to go a little more into that. I'm like, okay.
Okay. So what sort of reading did you have with me? Was it an oral profile?
Yeah.
Right. So you got a written report from me,
Yes.
which is about 1,200 words long, with all the characteristics of the aura in it. Okay. Right. So, and I actually said to you, adult relationships could be quite difficult. For you to enter into. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty straightforward, aren't I? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you find the profile interesting?
Oh my God, it was spot on.
Okay, a bit louder.
Everything was spot on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when I read that, I'm like, oh, I really What's gonna happen? I'm an adult and I can't relate.
No, it's great, isn't it? When you read that someone can pick up your character and who you are and everything about you, it's just the colours in your picture that day. And I mean, we can change, we can alter. I see
True.
people's pictures quite a lot, and what I get a lot of people come back after 3 or 4 months because they want to see if they've taken in any information or changed some of the things that they're actually doing, and their aura changes and they start to think in a different way, because how we think manifests around our colors. And
Yeah.
and how you're thinking, Mishi, I mean, you're thinking, oh, I'm rubbish at relationships.
No.
That's what you're thinking,
Yeah,
isn't
well,
it?
yes, yeah.
And there's Dominic telling me you're right. The nice thing about that is that when we know something needs fixing, we can fix it. So all that's wrong here is you're meeting the wrong people. But I would say something different to you. I would say the wrong people are meeting you.
Yes.
Because you're waiting for them to come to you. And
Wow.
you are, right? You say yes, Dominic.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, okay. Because what's happening is you're shy when you first get into meeting people. You don't want to make first contact because you
Yeah.
don't want to be rejected. Now, that makes you very human, makes you very mortal, but they don't get to know you, because the people that are coming to you are the ones that want you to help them or want you to do something for them. Yeah. So what we need to do is find you and your identity. You're a lovely lady, pretty, you're gorgeous. I mean, you just need to be you. And people are going to really engage with you all the time so closely, because they're going to see you as a person they want to get closer to. But you must stop trying to mend people or trying to fix the underdogs. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're attracting the people that can't cope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just want to be sharing and settled, and you just want someone to hold at night. And that's pretty easy. But we got to meet the right people to do that. And you've got to start making those choices.
Okay. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Your aura will change. Yeah. As soon as you.
And then I was so stuck on that. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's true.
Yeah. No, it will be a part of you. But what we have to be is accepting of who we are. That's the first thing. We can't hide. We are who we are.
Yes, but like I always see, like you said, I see the good in everyone. I see their soul, basically. So I keep saying, why do I keep getting diamonds in the rough? I'm so tired of that.
Nah, because they're meeting you. You're not meeting them.
So now I gotta go. Okay.
Yeah, you got to make the choice. If you want your ideal person, you got to take control of that.
Okay.
Yay.
Go out. I gotta go out.
No. If you want to stay in, you can stay in, but you'd have to set fire to your curtains to meet some men, because they'll be the ones coming around to put the fire out.
Okay. I'll take a fall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You need to be rescued.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. See, there we go. Straight away, we've got the connection.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm really relieved I'm in England. Right.
But thank you for clarifying that. That was really.
No, you're welcome. Anytime, just come and chat. You know where I am.
Okay.
You've got my email address,
Yeah.
no doubt. Yeah, just come and say hi. And I'll always chat. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
That's okay. You're welcome. Nice to see you in person, not just a photograph. It's great.
We were all covered up.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for you to email me and say, Dom, I've met somebody that's really good for me and I'm really happy and I'm going to live my life and I don't want to talk to you ever again. I can't wait,
No. Because, okay, I just want to say, you know how you go on aliens and stuff?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Well, when we were in college, we were a group of 5 and we were walking, we're in the Philippines. And we walk up this hill, and like by the treetops was this huge round UFO.
Okay.
And it was like 4 p.m.
Yeah, no time.
So we were just like, it's a UFO. And we were like staring at it for 5 minutes. And we we're like, no one's going to believe us. I said, we're not drunk, we're not high, but no one's going to believe us. And then it just went it left.
Yeah.
And
There
sure
you go.
enough, only 2 of us remember that the incident.
Right. So, any missing time? Any time missing from your seeing it and then going? Because quite a lot of people that witness that sort of thing also have missing time.
Oh, we never noticed. We just kept
never
saying,
noticed.
"Oh, no one's gonna believe us except for my friend's uncle, who's
Yeah.
been waiting to be picked up, but he already
Yeah.
gone."
You must video it. You must take pictures.
This
And
was way before cell phones were made.
okay. Well, then you must ask them if there's any eligible bachelors on board, because we need as much contact as we possibly can get. But it's just yeah, it's an amazing thing that we're not alone in the universe. We're not.
Yeah, I get that.
But where we're not alone is we have to understand that people will see these things and we will witness them and we will question whether they're right or wrong, because that's what we do. But the fact that when you've seen something like that, you're knowing. You've got a knowing. No one can take that away from you. It's your inner knowing.
And that's what it is. Yeah. And my son's like, "Oh, I don't believe." I'm like, it is what it is. I've seen a ghost. I've seen a spirit walk by me. I've seen a UFO. I mean, what did I see?
And now, Mish, you met Dominic. So you've really got a full house, haven't you?
Yes. Well, with 3 bunnies, yes.
three bunnies.
Yes, and 3 bunnies.
Yeah, well, don't ever put them in saucepans.
Don't cook my bunnies.
Oh, wait, another question really quick before we have to
All right.
end.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, Mish.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, Mish.
Jody wanted to know, not sure how to ask the questions. Can the aura show evidence or residual from a COVID infection?
Yes. Yeah, viruses show up on the inner aura, and they normally show up around the chest and throat and nose areas of a person. So, yeah, we get that. We can see things that are very independent of other things. So, like viruses, like COVID, they show up in very lime greens and very lime yellows around people's nose and chest areas. So yes, it's something you see a lot at this moment in time. You're seeing quite a few people with different levels, but mainly most people have COVID at some point. So it's something that I'm always looking for on pictures. I don't tend to always write about it, but if someone's interested, I'll always point out that they might need to go and get a test. Yeah, something very interesting on that. There was in the last Olympics, the Chinese swimming team were all having blood transfusions.
Oh.
And their auras were all showing that they were having fresh blood put into their bodies before they were swimming, which was giving them an advantage over the other competitors. So that's how detailed aura profiling can be. It can actually focus on things that people are doing and actually trying to gain. In sport, I can see a lot of different athletes taking different drugs. And I used to work with a lot of sports personalities, and you can see the substances, from alcohol to caffeine to cocaine to even some of the other drugs, steroids. So you get a whole picture of the person when you look at their aura.
What colors do they come out as?
Different shades of green, mainly. But the Chinese swimmers were very dark reds around their blood systems, around their hearts, around their legs, and around their shoulders.
Interesting. And then, are you able to clean that out? Like, let's say you see a virus. Sometimes I have sinus issues all the time. And so I will visualize taking in white light or whatever and breathing out all the yucky stuff.
Okay, you can do that, but I would use salt water.
I'll just go to the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, salt water is a great cleanser. It's a great way of clearing your sinuses, and it's also a great way of being able to be in control. So, I mean, the people that talk about the visualization, it's always good to have visualization capability and use it. But in the practical world, we're trying to get to a point where we're not getting invaded by lots of hostile viruses. So we must be very careful about how we do that. If we just go into visualization mode, we might not be as constant as we could do if we used a cleansing like salt water.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ashley.
Yes. Are we ready to wrap it up? Anybody last?
No, we can
Anybody
go
that
on.
hasn't had a question that may like to ask something before we go? Anybody that maybe wants to know a little bit more, or anyone that wants to know anything I haven't talked about? It's been, I must say, it's been really nice talking to everyone tonight. I say tonight because it's now getting into the evening here in England, but I've really enjoyed all of your company. Some of the questions have been really interesting questions for everyone to to hear and know the answers to. And all the people that I've talked to, fantastic. Thank you for showing so much interest in what we're doing here with the Aura photographic profiling. It's always a real pleasure to be able to come and talk to people.
You want to tell people how to get a hold of you and to get an Aura profile?
Yeah, it's MindSite, which is MYNDSITE.org, or the simple way is just to write to auraprofiling@gmail.com, or you can come and listen to my podcast on Twisted and Misunderstood, which is on your podcast providers, or listen to Ashley's podcast with me on, which we did a few weeks back, Ashley, and
Yes,
or Ashley's on Twisted and Misunderstood as well. So if you want to come and look at the magic, you can come and look at the Twisted and Misunderstood site, where I've actually interviewed Ashley, and she talks in depth about things that are very close to her heart. So I've uncovered Ashley's magic. So if you're interested in that, come and talk on that. But I'm always open to anybody if they want to come and talk to me.
And our
nice.
goal is to get Dominic to come to California this summer.
Well, I'm coming. You stopped me. Yeah,
I'm not going to stop you. He's coming, and we're going to have an amazing weekend or longer of him doing our little groups of aura profiling. In August, we decided. So we're going to start getting that organized.
It's going to be fun, isn't it? Yeah,
yes.
No, anyone that wants to, I understand that California is 3 times bigger than England. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around the distances involved sometimes, because for me 50 miles is a long way, whereas in California I should imagine that's not very far at all, is it?
It's traffic, so it's far.
I will fly. Don't worry about that.
It's far with the traffic.
That's fantastic.
But Dominic's an amazing emailer. So if you guys email him, he's an amazing communicator. So
yes,
I've enjoyed getting to know Dominic as one of my dear friends. So
mutual. Yeah, it's always nice, isn't it?
Beautiful.
It's been I love to be able to communicate with people. I think that we all should make time for everyone. And if we do that, the world's a great place. That's why it's something very dear to my heart that when people email me, I want to get to them as quick as I can. So normally within an hour, you'll get a reply, as long as I check my emails every hour. No joke. That's how I work.
Yeah,
that's how I do it.
Unless he's sleeping and we're awake and during the day.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. I'm not long before I go to bed now, but you've got another sort of 8-9 hours before you guys are off to sleep. But I won't be that far behind you.
Oh, thank you, Dominic. This has been so fun. I appreciate everybody coming and being part of this. If you, I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, and I'll probably put it as a podcast episode, so we can share more of Dominic's magic and
amazing.
Share him. And I just think I had the girls' profiles done. I talked about that when we had our interview, and he couldn't do mine because he knew too much about me, because that's how authentic and true these readings are. He wants to show you that he's reading your aura. He doesn't know one thing. So that's the when you see this, like me, saw her reading come through, and you're like, everything he said about my daughters were like spot on, to the point of even her workout, because she's on crew team. And I don't know if you've listened to the episode, but he saw her shoulders and her hips. And I said, she's like a rower, but he saw the energy from her doing that exercise. Anyway, Dominic's a gift to this world, and I'm so grateful you all got to meet him.
Yeah, well, I'm very grateful that you've all come as well. It's nice to see you all, and don't be strangers. You know, come and talk to me. I'm always very happy to talk and to discuss. And if you've got anything you want to ask, just come and talk to me. So it's always nice.
Thank you, everybody. One last chance. Anybody?
Thank
Last
you.
call.
Thank you, Ashley.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you, Dominic and Ashley. That was
Yes.
amazing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
everybody.
Nice
Awesome.
to
Thank
see
you,
you all.
Dominic. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Bye bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye
Have
bye.
a great